Hey all, K-Rat here, finally releasing another video after a short break. I've been really occupied with a lot of stuff lately, and I'm still editing the Fossil Fighters video, but it's destroying my soul a lot lately. So right now I've decided I should just do what I want all the time, and thus I'm finally putting out a Nuzlocke series, which I've been meaning to do for a while. Has it been done to death? Sure, probably. Do I care? Also no. I'm a Pokemon superfan and I want to share that with the world a little bit more. This Nuzlocke isn't just a regular Nuzlocke either, no sis. This is going to be a whole long-term adventure. Have you ever heard of a Genlocke? A regular Nuzlocke is as follows and is pretty simple. If a Pokemon faints, it's dead. That's right, it goes into a box permanently or gets released, but personally I graveyard them so I can keep a record. And there's no undoing this, there's no retries or anything. I can only catch the first Pokemon I encounter in any given area based on the area name. This goes for every grass patch in that named area. If I don't catch it or I faint it, there's no retry, so I gotta really try to not fuck it up. I've gotta nickname the Pokemon. It's important to the vibe and it creates an increased attachment to each Pokemon. Bonus rules. We're using the shiny clause, so encountering a shiny Pokemon means I can break the catching rules and catch it regardless of what area I found it in. And also the starter I pick is randomized based on my trainer OT, which means like the last digit of this number. Now we're doing a Genlocke, not just a Nuzlocke, so in addition to those rules, we must progress sequentially throughout the game generations. With this, I'm going to start off of region as opposed to actual generations, so the order will be Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, and then Kalos, and maybe Alola after, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet. I'm not sure how to transfer the Pokemon between those games. I'll be doing the remakes for Kanto and Johto, meaning we are beginning with Pokemon Fire Red, the Gen 1 remake, because I've played actual Gen 1 and I'm so sorry, but while it's iconic, it is so genuinely ass. The team I beat the champion with will be transferred as level 5 babies to begin with in the next game. Living Boxmons will also be taken, mainly because of the next rule. I cannot catch another of the same species of Pokemon, ever. Like, ever at all. If I have one alive or if one died in the past, it doesn't matter, I cannot catch another in any of the games. If I catch a Pidgey in Gen 1 and it faints, well, I can't catch a replacement in Gen 2. This is to increase the Pokemon variety I'm using and to force me to get more creative about my teams. If the first Pokemon I encounter is a duplicate under this rule, I can re-roll the area encounter, and it's the only time I may do so. So that basically means I can just catch a different Pokemon if it's a duplicate. I have 5 lives, 5 whiteouts. If I white out, that whole party of Pokemon is gone and I have to start with boxed Pokemon. If I lose all 5 lives or all of my Pokemon, it's back to Gen 1. I'll keep track in the videos of how many lives are remaining, of course. On top of all that, I wanted to make it harder for no reason. So we have some additional rules to really change how I play these games normally. Level caps are enforced. I can only level up to a predefined maximum before I beat each respective gym. I'll keep you updated on the level caps as we go. I'll be using the set battle mode, which means I won't have the luxury of switching Pokemon when a foe faints. Pokemon that trivialize their respective games are banned. The main culprit for the first game here is Gyarados. Gyarados is banned. Also, I think Garchomp is one of the other ones off the top of my head. I will only be using healing items I gather from the ground or sources other than Marts, except for the Elite Four Gauntlet and except for antidotes. I won't get too far without some exceptions, I'm really not that good at these games. Variation on the gym clause that includes other dungeons. Once I enter, I can't leave until I'm all the way through. If I've already cleared a dungeon or a gym, I can go back in and train and stuff, but the first time through, I have to go all the way through on my first try. I also won't be using calculators, damage calculators, online references, or anything like that, aside from the Nuzlocke level caps, which are just on Nuzlocke University. Finally, the challenge is being ran by a girl who's played Pokemon for almost 20 years and who is somehow still really not very good at it. And I always name my characters Risryn these days, so tying it all together, I like to call this little series. Alright, starting off with the usual deal here. Professor named after a kind of tree, I'm a girl, name is Risryn, yada yada. I named Gary Chud because I thought it was funny though. You're gonna notice me constantly opening the help menu on accident also, by the way, just try to ignore that, I keep doing it on accident. Here we are, so it begins, Risryn's run. First things first, gotta check that OT to know which starter we're gonna get. And, there it is. ID ending in 6, so that's gonna be the middle Pokeball. Up to the grass to get yelled at by the tree man, and then I remember how slow the text is. Gotta turn that up, set the battle style to set because I forgot to do that before, and screw it, let's give ourselves a pretty frame while we're here. This one reminds me of Minecraft purpur blocks. Alright, who's gonna be the OG for this run? Squirtle. Okay, probably my least favorite and least used out of the three, at least from when I've played in the past. As for what to name him, well, for some reason I saw him and immediately thought of Sun, I'm crying. So there we go, say hello to Sun, everybody. Wish him good luck, he's absolutely going to need it. With my newfound Sun, I make my way on out, but I am of course forced to fight my Chud rival as is tradition. Sun is luckily too powerful for him. Okay, finally we can really start. Wait for gore. Gotta do the stupid parcel and the Pokédex. And I'll spare you the details. Whoa, 5 whole Pokeballs, haha, well thanks Prof Smoke. Oh yeah, also gotta grab the town map that Chud doesn't want us to have, and bang, now we can actually get started. First route, first encounter. Getting kinda lucky with the grass here, and there we go. What a surprise, a little Rattata that is going directly into my pocket. Oh, it's a girl too, I know what I must do. It is named after me now. Hyperfang on this girl, gonna carry me through this challenge. I'm oddly excited about one of the most common Pokemon of all time. Up into Viridian, heal, and I'm actually gonna do a little grinding just in case I run into a trainer or something. I don't want to lose anyone this early. Done with the grinding, just gonna walk around and make sure I haven't forgotten any items around here. It's gonna be a real issue later, probably. Oh yeah, also there's another encounter location I can hit to the left over here too, but I don't want to go too far because one thing I do remember is being shocked by a surprise rival fight just north of this patch. I know we can get some slightly different stuff here at least, so let's see... Mankey. I rather like Mankey. I've been using him a lot in Pokerogue recently, shout out to Pokerogue by the way. Managed to catch it, but having trouble with the name this time. My brain keeps going towards a visual of an angry Mankey yelling, and that reminded me of JoJo's, so I'm naming him Dio. Congratulations Dio, welcome to the party. Party is up to 3 now, we're cooking. Trotting off to the forest now, and I know I'm gonna have to deal with 2 things, poison and actual trainers. The trainers shouldn't be too bad, but the trainers might give us poisoning, so it's kind of the same problem wrapped up in one. But, oh yeah, more grass. And it's another Rattata, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. I can re-roll it under my rules, but I don't really feel like it. In the forest, my first objective is to get another team member. It's just advantageous to have more Mons, you know? And I'm gonna take any advantage I can get even early on. We run into a Caterpie, and the second I laid eyes on him, I said to myself, haha, I would smoke that little bug like a joint, he's joint-shaped. So now his name is Zaza. Happy birthday, Zaza, you were named after drugs, hooray! He won't be very useful yet, but he should evolve quickly. Everyone has some kind of utility here. This Caterpie's utility will end up being to excessively powder things later, probably. A little item in the grass here, and then sort of the first real trainer battle, and he's not bad at all. We catch the sickness on the next battle though and have to pop an antidote or else lose K, and I'm not trying to let that happen. This battle and how low my little rat got kinda jostled me a little, so I'm kinda just trying to speed run through the rest of the woods and get to the PC ASAP. And everything went pretty much fine, we made it through without a loss. Next up is gonna be Pewter and the first gym, and I'm a little scared actually. I have Squirtle so I should be fine, but who knows, so it's grinding time again. Everybody is getting pumped up to a higher level before I enter because who knows what'll happen honestly. Also, I genuinely don't remember what Pokemon Brock has. I only know that the level cap is 14 right now and I can't go past that. I can level up past that during the gym leader fight, but not before, so we'll leave our Mons a little wiggle room to get XP and possibly level up from the extra gym trainers in there. Through the grind, Zaza evolves all the way into Butterfree, which means the powdering can already begin. Sun goes to level 12, and I decide this is as close as I want to get to the level cap for right now. I have a type advantage with my starter, and this gym is real short. Before heading in though, I had a flashback to a vague memory of an item being in this corner that I've got to try and grab, of course, and then I go on to the gym. First trainer goes down without an issue, bringing Sun up to level 13 and giving him Water Gun, which is nice. This gym is going to be a cakewalk. Brock fight time. The instant I saw the 2 Pokeballs and the Geodude, I immediately remembered from my childhood that it's just this and an Onix of a level I can't remember. Oh well, gonna hit a couple of withdrawals to be careful about it, and oh yeah, I definitely did not need to do that, it was a complete sweep. Alright. Awesome, first badge, Rock Tomb TM, and a raise to the level cap. We can now go up to level 21 until we beat Misty. Now we move on to a part of the game that scares me a lot more than Brock, and that's Mount Moon. You may wonder why, and the answer is a reminder that once I enter I cannot leave. If I get too screwed too fast, we may be entirely cooked. There's the Running Shoes aid and some trainers before the cave for some extra XP, nothing crazy or special. As well as a new grass patch and a new encounter, a little Spearow whose shape somewhat reminds me of a pile of sticks and leaves in the fall time. So, she is now named Twigs. She may end up being important later as well. A little grinding first to be extra careful. Can't go too high though, don't want to hit the level cap prematurely, and then comes the scary part. Actually entering Mount Moon. The only positive here is any items we might find and the new encounter. Deep breath, in we go. First, around the bend straight to that item, because I actually do not remember at all where to go. Only vaguely that there's Team Rocket fellers somewhere in here. And hey, Bullet Seed, that's actually pretty cool and will be useful for Misty probably. If anything I have can learn it. A little to the north after picking it up, we hit the first encounter, a Zubat, what a surprise. Anything helps, but it took me a long time to settle on a name for the bat, and my logic is kind of just bats, ultrasonic, ultraviolet, violet. I'm naming her Violet, screw it. Welcome to the team, Violet. I'm not sure how much use I'm gonna get out of you, but anyone help. We have another bug catcher in our sort of way also, and he's a complete pushover. I was way too scared of this cave, clearly, especially if I can just escape most of the wild encounters. What's the worst that could happen? No, he died too early for Stardust Crusaders! Okay, but actually this rattled me so bad, my confidence that I had just gained has been immediately shook. I have to be more careful, a death this early really sucks. And girl, I am a complete idiot. In the following trainer battle, I thought to myself, oh, the confusion from this Magnemite isn't doing much, and it only knows Tackle. I can just tank through this and I'll still outdamage. I couldn't believe my eyes. Okay, so yeah, I am back to being unironically scared again. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it out of this cave. Am I really this bad at Pokemon? Oh my goodness. I am sweating it, very much so. Alright, well, keeping on and avoiding some of the trainers and not others arbitrarily, so I get some XP but also don't die. I eventually find some rocket idiots standing around, which I know means I'm going at least kind of the right direction, and we haven't lost anyone else. Eventually we make it to what I vaguely remember as being the final battle in this cave versus the scientist for one of the fossils. He beat up Zaza pretty good, and his electric types made me nervous with Sun out front, but he ended up not being too much of an issue. I took the Dome Fossil because I figured it may end up being more useful than Omanite, no offense little ocean guy, because I actually like Omanite a lot. Now I think we just have to find the way out, and oh, this ladder right here is the exit, never mind. That's pretty easy. Now I'm pretty down and out from the cave, so I'm gonna avoid these two karate guys for right now that are up here. Just gonna take this item, and I'm gonna go straight to the Pokemon Center. Unfortunately, we do of course have to lay Dio and Kay to rest in the newly named Dead Box. They were gone too soon, and it's all my fault. I'm gonna end part 1 here though, y'all. Next time I believe we'll have a couple of new encounters, and we're gonna take out Misty too. At least I hope. I hope to see you all next time on Risryn's Run, my Genlocke challenge.